Hi guys, welcome to the very first episode of The Chit Chat. I am your host, Ayana Lachey. Today with me are my very lovely co-hosts.
Hi, I'm Luam.
Hi, I'm Alexandria.
Hi, I'm Naya Naomi.
Hi, I'm Victoria.
Today we are posing the question, has social media helped us or hurt us more? So guys, let's chat. Who wants to start off by taking their stance on the question?
I could start off. Honestly, I'm in the middle. Simply because I think that social media can be a very good thing, a very positive thing if you have business, trying to reconnect with family. And then it could be a very negative thing because I know a lot of people are on social media pump faking, trying to, uphold their image or be somebody who they're not. They're really not. And I feel like on social media, you only see people's highlight reel. And so it can kind of be a barrier. Mm-hmm. I don't know, I feel like I have more negatives and positives.
Right.
It's weird.
I mean, I agree. I realized that social media has definitely created a platform for a lot of people, mm-hmm. and a lot of people have been getting, like Instagram, you get paid for being an Instagram model or whatever, or YouTube, that's people's biggest income at this point. But now I feel like everything is just so forced and people are just simply doing it as an income source. So, I mean, I don't know, but then again, it's like social media is also used as news now. So every time something's going on, you don't hear it from CNN, you don't hear it from wherever. I mean, you do, but do most people really go on CNN, Fox?
Yeah. You go to check Twitter first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go to Twitter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I personally think social media has more positives than it does negatives. Like, I love social media. I love everything that social media has given opportunities to do. Like, as someone who's moved around a lot, close to 20 times I've moved, and I'm able to keep in contact with people from everywhere I've lived, from Facebook to Twitter. Some of them have YouTube channels. I can always find some way to reach out to them. So I love social media for that. And then I also love it because I feel like because our education system is kind of trash, I think that social media provides kind of a escape as a way to still become successful and rely on yourself. It gives you that platform, like you were saying, to do that other, I guess, I don't know, we don't have anything else like that, so to say, except for really social media, like bloggers, and bloggers have been around forever, but they, people are actually making more money off this because it's not just simply a Tumblr blog. You can have a Tumblr blog, but then people can follow you day to day on Twitter and then see what you're posting on Instagram, see, oh, what is she doing? She's cooking on Snapchat. People are involved and stuff like that.
So my question is, how long do you guys think that, because you mentioned about how it's a source of income, mm-hmm. and I did too. So I'm just sometimes I think about how long is this gonna last? Is it gonna last forever, or is social media still gonna be the next big thing 20 years from now, 10 years from now, et cetera, et cetera?
I think it will still be a thing. I just think that it's going to evolve because the more we have, I think that we've had the last 10 years or 17 years or whatever, we've had a lot of new technology, new social media coming out. I feel like there's a whole other wave of things that we haven't even tapped into yet. And a lot of the times when people are getting paid from their blog sites, their websites, the videos, they're paying for monetization, they're paying for ads, that's how they're getting paid. And these companies that we don't even know their names, they're hiring these people to get us to watch them, to stream, and so that's how everybody's making this money. Mm-hmm. And then there's a layer to where people don't even know this stuff is actually going on. Right. They're just a part of the whole thing. So I don't know.
No, I was just branching off saying, so you pretty much think that's just gonna evolve.
Yeah, I think it's gonna keep going.
It's true. I was just gonna say, I think my opinion on just the whole topic itself is, I think social media is very positive, in the sense that it helps people stay in communication.
Right.
But at the same time, I really think it has put a big dent in our society, in our generations. And not saying it's a bad thing, but at the same time, you have to think about it. We're always on our phones. We're always on social media. What's going on. When you wake up, what's the first thing you do? You check Twitter, you check Instagram, it's just a force of habit, and I kind of just feel like because everyone's getting their news and stuff from there, the actual news is kind of going away, because CNN has a Twitter page, so obviously if CNN is tweeting it, it has to be true, or it's their news,
Yeah, right.
kind of thing. So I think it's helping, but in a sense, like, I just kind of feel like that's what people are just relying on now. So.
Do you want to go ahead?
No, I just wanted to hint it on the social media with the news thing, because I be on social media a lot, you know, saying Twitter, we there. And I figured that what we find on Twitter can sometimes be more accurate than what we find on the news. Because I think I was scrolling down my TL and someone said there's been, I think, a lot of school shootings happening in 2018 alone. And then I had to go research what that was about, and it ended up to be true. And I haven't heard anything about that stuff on CNN.
Yeah.
And I think a few years ago when the Baltimore riots were happening, a lot of the police brutality stuff, all those videos were on Twitter and Facebook, and they weren't getting shown on CNN.
Right.
So that,
or any source from the news at all, not just CNN.
I think Twitter especially, Twitter is like kind of the main social media platform that we use today, because before it used to be Facebook, but then that demographic changed. And I think, like, when you said, do I think social media is still going to be here in like 10, 20 years? I think to a certain extent, like, everything's always changing, but just like when TV first got popular, like everyone having a TV in their home, people probably thought it wouldn't last, and here we are, still watching TV, still recording stuff. Yeah, like, still recording stuff, still wanting to watch award shows, like, and there's still new shows coming on TV.
Right.
So I don't think social media will end necessarily, but like, just how we went from like MySpace to Facebook to Twitter, I think we'll go from Twitter to who knows what else. I think there's going to be more in-depth ones that serve different purposes as the years go on.
Right.
I think it's interesting that you bring up the news and saying that it's kind of insignificant in relation to social media, because from my point of view, I feel like the news needs social media. Like, they get all of their stories from social media. Whatever's trending on Twitter, that's what you see on the news. So I think that saying that the news is kind of insignificant in that spectrum isn't really like necessary.
I wasn't hinting at the fact, or that it being insignificant. I was more talking about the fact that the stuff that is going on in our day-to-day lives, that more so, to be real honest, people of color care about or experience, is not shown on the news as much as it should be shown on the news.
100%.
And that's why specifically I mentioned the police brutality stuff, because when that stuff happens, there are still deaths and names that we don't even know that go unnoticed. But we will see them on social media, and that's how we will learn about them.
Twitter's unbiased.
Yeah, and then even at that, there'll be threads about information you won't even know about. There'll be different, like, small videos about things you can get into. It's like, at that point, it's very educational. So it's positive on that end.
For Twitter and other platforms being educational, do you think kids should be on social media? See? But how can you say?
There's no boundary with social media. That's the thing.
But if they're still educating them?
I think.
I mean, but what I mean by there's no boundary, yes, there can be. You're scrolling down your Twitter timeline. You see one educational thing. You see something about a rapper. You see a naked girl. Like, it's not a limit to what you can and cannot see on social media. Once it's out there, it's literally out there. Like, you know, we hear that all the time. So with kids being on social media, it's like, okay, yes, you could see this aspect of the educational part, but then again, you're also exposed to a lot of other things that you probably shouldn't be exposed to as a young child.
And
or, you know,
definitely. I also agree with you, and with that whole, like, kids being on social media, of course, yes, they can be beneficial in many ways, but like you said, it's no boundaries. You're exposed to whatever. So just in my opinion, I just don't kind of feel like it's appropriate, considering there's even harsh news that's the truth, you know, but I don't really want to expose my kids to too much of that right now, because for real, the world is something serious, you know. You got to kind of build your kid up to that. So I don't really feel like social media is appropriate. Hence, it does, you know, help with education, but you got school for that.
Okay, but how old were y'all when y'all got social media? I was like 12 years old when I got a Facebook.
Yeah, when I was like 12, you know, when I was 10 on MySpace.
Exactly, yes.
That's what I was up there with the profile. Even on Facebook, you get exposed to stuff. And Facebook is supposed to be the most wholesome social media
that's where the parents are.
Right? And even back then, it was like, even before it became known as strictly a family's, you know, social media platform, it was always kind of the more wholesome one. Like people, I think we had to like slowly build our way up to like going as wild as people are on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, and I think Facebook, I still got exposed to stuff that had me Googling certain questions or looking up things.
Definitely.
I was like, what is this?
That's why there shouldn't. I mean, not necessarily like they can put an age restriction, but I know on Facebook there was an age restriction. You had to be at least 13.
13.
I thought it was
to be on
14.
Facebook.
I don't know.
I don't know what it was, but
In your
regardless,
teens.
if there was like there are a lot of people that have ways around things, so they could do an age restriction, but I feel like they could still get away around it. So it's not gonna do anything. They shouldn't be on it. Yes, I mean I do agree with that because I mean I definitely was on social media on Facebook. I think like in 8th, 9th grade. But I mean, like I said, I don't think saying, oh yeah, kids shouldn't be on it or kids can't be on this social media is necessarily the best way to go about it because they're gonna find a way around it regardless.
And then it's hard to say like parents monitor your children because like 9 times out of 10 they're not because like they're working and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, the kids are at school. So
and like, but do y'all think if you didn't have your kids on social media that you would kind of be like secluding them from their peers? Because that's how I think. Because if like when you like, I have a professor who's I think she said her kid was like 13, 14, and neither of them have a phone. And to me, in this day and age, that's wild to not have a phone. Even it doesn't have to be an iPhone 10, but nothing like
Some
no
means
phone
of
like that's
communication.
exactly
Yeah.
to me that's insane to me. So I feel like if you withhold certain things that are popular in your child's age group, social media is popular in our age group, then I think you're secluding them from their peers, and I think that kind of sets them behind in some ways because they're still trying to catch up. Just like the stereotypes people make. Crap, I can't remember the group of people. Never mind what I was about to say. But there's a bunch of stereotypes like when kids are, just kind of secluded, like kind of off to their own, and they're, the weird ones, but really they just never got introduced to certain things. And I think it's really more, parents are relying on social media platforms to teach to raise their kids just like they do celebrities, when in reality you need to teach your kid how to be strong enough and how to deal with the certain things you may be introduced to. Just like, how to deal with bullies, because that was the biggest thing with social media for a while, was cyberbullying. Should kids be on it? And I know as someone who was bullied when I was younger, I didn't really experience cyberbullying to an extent, really. It was mostly like, like shoving in 6th grade. But
I'm so sorry.
no, it's okay. I got them though. Got my revenge. But no, I think that if I wasn't on Facebook, even with all the stuff, my mom taught me like, you need to be strong enough. Like people are gonna say mean things. You're gonna see mean things, and you need to know that their opinion doesn't matter of you. And that's a hard thing to learn as a child. It's a hard thing to learn as an adult too. Like we're still learning it. Like even in the back of our heads, we're like, oh, I don't care about their opinion, but I want to change what I wear today. Like, like it's still ingrained in us, and we still have to learn how to unlearn it.
we're human.
Exactly. So I think that while social media can be somewhat harmful to young minds, I also think if you don't let them experience certain things, then that's more harmful to them in the future.
I think it's interesting that you bring up that if someone doesn't like it, or you see on social media someone doesn't like something that you wear, you might want to change what you wear. Do you think that social media has affected like your fashion choices, your music choices, or even like dating tendencies?
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah. Definitely.
Especially because like I feel like on social media, and a lot of young women, I'm not even going to limit it to young women, a lot of women have this thing right now where it's like, oh, I'm crazy, I got a bad attitude, you can't handle my attitude, it's all this happening. And I feel like a lot of time the impressionable minds that are on social media are looking at this, and there's, I know people don't believe your subconscious can be busy, but I'm a firm believer that your subconscious is always busy. And when you're reading certain things, listening to certain things, and you have a desire to be something, or be like something, or desire to have something, you can start becoming that thing, in your subconscious. So I feel like that happens a lot. I think on social media we talk a lot about relationships in a very unnecessary manner. The whole shoot your shot is hot right now. And I just feel like, shoot your shot, 2K16, I'm down for it. But I feel like
the fact
when
that
it
you
comes
just said
to
2K16 goes
I
to
did,
show,
right.
It is 2018. But no, that goes to show how long trends last on social media. Like, because that was 2 years. We were in high school.
Man, we were. Oh my gosh. But yeah, like when it comes to that stuff, I feel like social media in that sense has created this block of us connecting with each other in real life. because sometimes like the DMs are cool, but because you talk to that person in person, and you know, with the cyberbullying, you could, you know, not like me all day on that app. You know what I'm saying? And that Curious Cat app. In real life, not because they be coming for me in Curious Cat, but like in real life, would you actually keep that same energy? Would you actually like?
Exactly.
I don't like.
I mean,
you know
like,
what I mean? Like,
to go off of what you said, especially when you asked about like as far as fashion and all that, I feel like a lot of men and women who are on social media, you know, you'll see a girl's photo who has a really cute fit or whatever, gets 1,000 likes, so you're gonna try to imitate that. You're gonna be like, okay, so if I want to get 1,000 likes, let me try to dress like her, let me try to do my makeup like her, and you know, vice versa with men. So I really feel like that kind of brought people down a lot.
Yeah.
So they're trying to keep up with those trends because they're influenced by what they're seeing on social media. But is that really, so my question to them, or to whoever is, you know, really, to whoever's really, you know, caught with that whole little
mindset,
you know,
yeah.
Do they really like it, or do they like it because they're getting all these likes, or do they like it because they're getting all these attention on social media?
And with the whole like keeping your kid away from like social media, I'm not saying to not expose them to it, because of course, like they're going to, like it's automatic. I'm just saying like a very young age, but 13 is fine to me. Like you're obviously growing up and you're gonna have to learn about certain things, but like I can definitely get what you're saying, where people just get too wrapped up in it, just too much, and it's literally just for people to like them, you know, because they're just so caught up in that.
For that.
Oh, I want to have these nice shoes, like,
Right.
you know, show them off.
Right.
Yeah. Especially when you see people getting famous, like just off of likes. Like there's people I've been following, like the amount of people who I've like just been following, whether on Instagram when Vine was still a thing, Snapchat, just, you know, funny people who are now, I'm seeing interviewing people on the red carpet at BET Awards, MTV Awards, and I'm like, all you did was post a funny video.
Right.
So now you're like, wait, I
can do that,
make the money that you're making, so let me
Exactly.
go ahead and, you know?
Like,
So it's
I'm sure I probably know at least 12 of my friends have a YouTube channel. Like,
That's what's up.
at least 12 of them. So I think there are so many positives, but I do think that it can be kind of toxic too. Like you have to be a very strong, like when people say Twitter's
culture.
Exactly. When people say Twitter's not for the faint-hearted, I think that's very true about all social media platforms. You cannot be on social media and be a punk. Like that's just the most blatant way to say it. Like people make jokes about, oh, get back to Tumblr or this and this, and I don't even think, as someone who was very like into Tumblr back when it was on and popping, but I don't even think it has to do with just what social media platform you're on, because they do have different like social spheres. Like stuff you post on Snapchat, you may not post on Twitter, you may not post on Instagram, you definitely won't post on Facebook. Like there's different things. But I think that they're and I'm starting to lose my train of thought. Wow, go on me now, because I'm losing my train of thought.
When we come to that image thing though, when you were talking about people doing certain things, look a certain way. I'm not even gonna lie. When the makeup videos started popping, I was like, sis, let me contour a little more together. I was learning new things, and I think that's cool about social media. But I do think people can take it a little bit overboard, especially with the clapback culture and that snatch up culture. Because if you know one of us get on Twitter, you know, 2,000, I don't know, 100, 500 some followers in the room, something like that. If one of us get on Twitter and the comments are not right, you know, it's not a blend on the bottom.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? The lace is
You're
showing.
the topic
It's not
of
what lace. It's that lace. We see that. You know? And people, it'll be, baby, it's that lace. You know what I mean? People are mean like that.
Yeah.
There are some people who will like DM to the side and be like, this is not. And I know that even myself, I've tweeted or said some things that may have been offensive to different communities and different people. But I've had people in my life who care about me and will like DM me and be like, yo, that's problematic.
Right.
You gotta check that. But not everybody's like that. And you can say a word that's wrong. You could say something that somebody didn't agree with, and they will be in your mentions.
So bold.
With that
Very
action.
unforgiving.
I like that you brought up being problematic up. Do you think that in today's like era of activism, we become too sensitive to different topics?
Yes.
How so though? How so though?
But I feel like people have become too sensitive because, like, say if I don't like the color purple, and Luan may see it, she wearing a purple scarf, she's like, wow, you don't like the color purple? You don't like the movie? That's terrible. You don't like my scarf? You're problematic.
Like,
you're in my way.
People
Right.
reach. You say you don't like the color purple. Oh, you hate gay people because purple's in the gay party.
It's a rainbow. Like, what?
What? No.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
People exaggerate.
Exactly.
So, like, something you
People
don't
are
even mean.
so sensitive, and sometimes I have to really sit back. Like every time I see something like popping up on social media, like the H&M thing.
I was just about to bring it up.
And because me personally, and we're gonna post this online, so I feel like people are gonna come at my neck.
Go ahead, say it.
But I personally did not. When I first saw the little boy in the sweatshirt, I did not think twice about it.
I'm not with him.
Like
either.
it did not, because as
definitely
someone
did.
who has,
I did.
I have heard my family members and of my family members, so my black family members, and then also friends, like parents, like people of all races refer to their kids as little monkeys. There's a whole book based on
Banshees.
yeah, like
No.
nah, I haven't heard
I've heard
Banshees.
Banshees.
Wait, who calling
Wow.
it kids?
Where y'all grew up? Anyway.
But I've heard people refer to their kids as little monkeys.
Yeah.
Like there was the whole story, 3 little monkeys climbing on a tree or something like that. Anyway.
I thought it was a bed.
Yeah, it was a bed.
I was about to say.
One fell off and bumped into
Yes.
It was a
So
bed.
there's a whole thing about it. And
Like tree?
y'all got the point.
No,
Y'all got the point.
to your point though, I feel like even in that sense, like me seeing it, I was just like, oh my god, this is so cute.
Right.
And then when I saw all the stuff happening around it, I started to think, and I was like, monkey.
Right. Like
Trayvon. Okay, maybe
yeah,
this
like
is a little too much.
I got the conclusion people were getting to, but another part of me was like, it's not like the sweatshirt was like strictly advertised to only black people. It was on a black little boy. And I do understand, like I'm literally in the middle with this because I do understand, like
So your initial reaction when you saw it, you didn't see anything wrong with it?
I didn't see anything wrong with it just because I know parents have called their kids monkeys before. Like, look, I've heard so many parents call their little boys monkeys. Like, stop running around the house like a monkey. Like, I've heard that so many times. So I'm like, that's such a common word used, and not even just among black families. Like, I hear
But do you
with
get
all
it in
kinds
the
of
wide
people.
scheme of things though?
I
Yeah.
do, but I also think that, I don't know. I think that it just went very overboard. Just because I think anyone could have worn that shirt. If I would have saw a little black boy running around in that shirt on the playground, I would not have thought twice. And I don't think anyone else. I think they may have been like, some people may be sensitive to it and may have caught it originally and been like, yikes, your parents put you in that.
But that just shows
So
us
do-
how powerful social media
That's
is.
what I was gonna say.
Yes.
So do
They
you
was about
think
to shut H&M down.
Yes.
Trying to get that 80% off.
But do you guys think that happened because of social media? Do you think it went overboard?
I think it-
that because of social media, though.
A little theory I have, I think H&M displayed that ad on purpose because publicity is publicity. People were talking about H&M.
Facts.
So I knew I think that they thought that it would get the black community upset and get it trending on Twitter. And look, we're still talking about this weeks later.
But what did they gain from it?
I feel like this is a whole other
Customers.
It is.
No,
You know how many people?
saying they're boycotting? That's BS.
Exactly.
They closed down in all of in South Africa, either the
Because
whole continent or just South Africa.
They
I don't
closed
remember.
down because they got vandalized.
No, some that even weren't like they closed it down.
I'm saying because one got vandalized. Obviously, if one got vandalized,
Yeah.
the rest of them can. But in the United States, is that happening? No.
People are still saying they're shopping at H&M.
Canada, Australia, no.
just like people still
people
buying
gonna
Shea
get-
Moisture. People still buying Dove.
Okay, but they
That's a whole other topic, though.
We going into different
no, but they didn't
Yeah.
gain any revenue from that. Is my
Exactly,
point. So for
yeah.
them to put that on social media, like if they really thought the way your theory is going, they would have gained something. Yes, they gained publicity, but
That's it.
What else?
Like they didn't gain any type
H&M
of money.
is big. They're
But I
already
don't
big.
believe
And regardless
people
of-
stop shopping there. That's
I don't believe
no.
they did
And
I
either.
don't even at that, regardless of what people may feel about it, there's a bunch of people who number one, don't even feel like it was that big of a deal, and number two, are still gonna shop at H&M because H&M is affordable. Now, beside that, I think that social media did a very good job at inflating the situation. In a sense of I have seen so many reenactments. I know Diddy
Yes.
posted one
Yeah.
with the some about a king and a crown.
Yeah.
Coolest king in the kingdom or something like that.
LeBron James did that.
Yes, and I
LeBron
felt like it was so cute, and I felt like it was so good for the people who did feel sensitive about that topic and about that issue.
Yeah.
But after the third week,
Yeah.
I was like, y'all.
It was beating a dead horse at that point.
I mean, when they were like, I've seen videos on Twitter and IG, and they were in the stores, like you said, they were just vandalizing the stores. I'm just like,
that's
What's the point?
because it's not the story. And then I feel like that's the other part. That's what I mean when I say people don't know about all the other stuff that happens. If you're gonna get mad, you
Get
need to
mad
go
at
to
corporate.
H&M headquarters.
Yeah,
Get mad at
the
corporate.
corporate.
Show up at the office,
Yes.
okay? Don't be going, because then as a sales associate, you know what I'm saying?
How do
You trying to put the clothes on a hanger.
You're just trying to
fold
make
up the
your
sign.
Right.
hourly.
Okay, make that 11
Yes.
something, I don't know how much you make, but you're trying to
Yeah.
make that coin and go home. They don't have nothing to
Right.
do with all that other stuff.
They
that's
don't.
happening.
No.
People is doing much.
But yeah.
Okay, so another question that I have, people take to social media to display like different acts of kindness. Do you think that their motivation is simply to display these acts of kindness or to get likes and retweets?
I don't think it matters. People always say like, oh, okay, you could have gave that homeless man food, but why'd you post it on Twitter? Does it matter? Like, he still gave a homeless man food. Like, I think people are so quick to like demonize everything you do on Twitter or any social media platform. Because when I see a kind act on Twitter, unless it looks, kind of like malicious, like, like just seems wrong in some way, I'm like, they did a nice act. Like, what people share nice acts all the time. You see them, they have a whole segment on it on the local news.
But do they get okay? So I know when we talk about social media, we're the main social media we're talking about is Twitter at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I feel like we all use.
Okay, so I know for Instagram, for YouTube, etc., they get money. But like, how does it work for Twitter? Do they get money for likes and stuff like that?
No,
Or-
you do.
I don't know if you can.
It's
Don't
not
quote
for
me.
likes. It's mostly just like, for example,
I asked that because I wanted to know, like, okay, you brought up like somebody giving a homeless man food or whatever. Okay, you did a nice thing. Why are you posting it on social media? Yes, they're getting likes, but are they getting money? Because that could play a huge role into it.
I don't think
I don't
That
think
is
they get
true.
money
Okay.
per like. I think it's more like you get paid to just post an ad because you have such a large audience.
Oh,
Yeah.
Makes sense. Okay.
And then even so to that point right there, sometimes you never know how genuine or disingenuous people are, because I can't remember this girl's name. But it's a little white girl, European girl. Can I say that? Little white girl. And she's friends with this young black woman. She looks as if she's a young, African American woman, and I think she has a condition. It might be some kind of syndrome or anything. I don't want to say the wrong terminology,
Yeah.
or
No, yeah, I
whatever
feel
she
you.
has.
Mhm.
But for me, she said she uses the N-word. I think she's rapping now or doing something like that. I just don't feel like she's being 110% genuine when she's putting this black girl in these wigs and this makeup, making her twerk in the camera, making her, say all kind of weird and curse words. Because I feel like the actual young lady doesn't know what she may be doing, or doesn't know that some of the stuff she's saying is not okay because of the condition that she's in. But at the same time, you got this white girl and this black girl, and she's like parading her around the internet. I just don't know if that's actually her trying to give her a friend, or I don't know if that's an actual act of kindness, because
We
that
would never
looks
know.
a little. It looks.
I feel like we would never know if somebody's genuinely putting something, or if they're just doing out there, or putting something out there on social media for likes, or because they, I don't know, they're
Yeah.
just doing something nice and they just felt like they needed to show the world. Honestly, we will never know that. So
Yeah, I see a lot of videos of like guys buying shoes for other kids like in their school, and I'll see like it'll be like 50 kids recording the whole encounter. And I always see one person like, okay, but why did you have to post it on social media? Okay, you only did this for likes. I don't know, especially because our generation, every generation, but it's, we're part of this generation, so we're more sensitive to it. But I feel like previous generations are so quick to say that we're rude, or we're, what else do they call us?
We're lazy.
Yeah, keep them coming. Like, all the negative.
Yeah.
Not me, please.
Exactly. So I think that whatever motivation that someone needs to do something nice, like, is it ethically right? Debatable. But I think they're still doing something nice at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Because do you really ever do something nice that isn't selfish? Because I know when I do something nice, it's because I want to be nice and it makes me feel good. But I'm doing it to make myself feel good. So is that still considered selfish?
no.
No, that's
But
true.
If I do something, I don't know. When I'm doing like community service, when I'm doing something nice for people, my first thought is not to put it on social media. But that's just me.
That's
Now,
true,
if it's
yeah.
a bit, if it's a walk, we gotta get it on the. But if it's like I'm feeding the homeless, or
Right.
I'm doing a street cleanup, my first instinct is not, let me show people, I don't
Exactly, and that's not my first thought either. I mean, granted, I don't do a lot of community service because a lot of it has to do with outside, which isn't my like comfort zone. But
Even though that is, the community. But
yeah, but there's stuff you could do like in a community center inside a building. But I think that I really don't think it matters what the motivation is to do something kind. I think that, and a lot of the things I see are about. I mostly see these younger kids, like kids still in high school, like sophomores, juniors, posting these videos, and they're younger than us, and I think they just have a different outlook of life, just like we have a different outlook of life. And I really don't think it matters why they do a kind act as long as they do it. It's not like they're doing it, taking it back, or doing it to make fun of someone, or doing it to even win a competition. Yep. They're doing it. They probably had this idea and was like, oh, this is cool, let's put this on Twitter, let's share the word, let's show that we did something nice. Because I know those videos make me happy every time I see them. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, what's the problem with them putting it on Twitter? Because I know every time I see a video of some kid giving another kid a pair of shoes that cost $200, I'm like, oh my God, why do you, that's so big. Right? Just like we see a video of a cute dog. It just brightens our day a little bit.
Okay, so I'm gonna change the words from act of kindness to sympathy video. Say the Keaton Jones video, the mom posting. See, you ain't even have to laugh. I wasn't even going there. The mom posting the video about her son being bullied. Do you think that she did that to genuinely promote awareness about bullying or to get sympathy?
I mean, she did a whole GoFundMe thing, right?
Yeah.
Wait, let me draw back. What was the Keaton situation? Was that the mom?
That was the little word. I mean, before then.
Before we knew that, it was a video of a little boy crying, and his mom was recording saying, why were they bullying you? What did they do? And he was like, they spilled milk on me, blah, blah, blah. And then a bunch of celebrities reached out, and were like, oh, Keaton, you can come to the Avengers Infinity War premiere. That was Chris Evans. Oh, Keaton, you can get my album.
But my thing was, for the GoFundMe, where was the money going to? I didn't like
Exactly.
That's the point.
Because if it was like a real, my son has, I've been bullied before, cyberbullied and bullied in real life. So if it got that bad to a point where maybe he was feeling like he was harming himself or something like that, then you could do lawsuit, pain and suffering. Like, you could go that route. But I feel like the GoFundMe was a tad unnecessary.
Like, where's the money?
Like, don't milk the media because your son is crying.
Yeah. Right.
But
go ahead.
I do want to say, as much as you're saying like don't milk the media, that's exactly what she did. Like, people fell for it, and people, as much as he, it was going through the struggle and like showed it in the video, people didn't question where the money was going. They're just like, oh,
they were just giving.
Let me give him some money. Kind
of.
It's not the son's fault.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I don't. Yeah. I understand he has a mind of his own, but
part 2 to the story.
I don't think it's the boy's fault.
Around that, and to me, I do personally feel like his mom kind of made him do it.
I mean, y'all really think that the little boy was like, hey, Mom, videotape me?
Oh, no. I do think it was the mother. No. But
yeah. Go ahead, Yana.
Social media flipped on him later on in the story when they found out that Keaton was saying the N-word.
To the boys who spilled the milk on him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh. See? But why?
Now we don't care about it.
Look it up.
Rewind.
All I'm saying is, okay,
Right.
now obviously yes, but I was just saying, like, he obviously grew up around that type of environment. His mom is the root of all problems.
Exactly.
He is a problem, yes. But his mom pretty much started all his family.
True.
He could have heard that mess at home, but at the same time,
he definitely heard it.
Because in today's America, I'm pretty sure that that. Like, in elementary school, I knew that if someone who didn't have none of this said the N-word, it was a problem.
Yeah.
So
it was immediately like, okay, so am I a fighter or am I just gonna get the teacher? But either way, you was gonna do something.
All right.
You was gonna do something.
Yeah, that's true. Do you guys think that you're the same person online as you are in person?
Yes. I think so.
Okay, so how would you feel if someone judged you based off your social media pages?
People have
if you're the same person though.
I'm not I mean, like, as far as like Instagram and Snap, I'm on I'm mainly on Instagram and Snap. But that's just like for pictures or whatever. But like as far as tweeting and stuff, I like to retweet. I'm a retweeter and a favoriter. But as far as tweeting, I don't really tweet that much. I mean, yes, I do little tweets here and there, but other than that, I really don't be tweeting like that. So
I've been judged. Okay, for social media, I've been judged in real life and on my social media. I feel like I'm the same person because anything I could probably tweet or anything like that, I could probably say. But I mean, I usually get, you know, the bougie, stuck up. I've gotten intellectual.
But you are on Twitter a lot, though.
I am
Yeah.
on Twitter a lot. I'm on social media a lot, and I share my opinions a lot.
Yeah.
And I post like a lot of the stuff I do, like poetry, social, the business. I post all that on my social media, so I actually need it, and I use it to my advantage. But even at that, I get judged a lot from people who don't know me,
Right.
and it could be very, very negative. Or very, very positive, because I'm not usually talking about nobody on my Twitter. I'm usually talking,
Right.
I used to tweet about the Lord. I fry my friends a little bit, you know what I'm saying? That's, you know.
As someone who like tweets probably at least 50 times a day, that's not even an exaggeration. It's probably at least 50 times. That's not even including retweets.
Mm-hmm.
And some people may think I have a problem. I don't care. But I feel like if you were to just judge me off of my Twitter,
Bless you.
Thank you.
I feel like you would get like, that's me, like a lot of stuff, like the stuff I retweet, like that's the one thing about Twitter that I do hate, is that when I retweet something, that doesn't mean I agree, that doesn't mean I would do it, that doesn't mean I have done it. It could just mean I thought it was funny and wanted to laugh.
Do you guys, so, I mean, this is just not a question for, I mean, it's just a general question, but like, do you guys think that if somebody were to go on your Twitter page and just to see your tweets, do you think they would know? Because that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people would go on somebody's Twitter page and think that they know somebody just based off tweets. And me personally, I wouldn't want anybody going on my page and being like, oh, well, Lulu said this, and this. Lulu just quoted, I would have cheated, so does that mean, you know, this, and that, you know? So I personally wouldn't want somebody to go on my page and think that they know me just based off tweets, retweets.
For that,
Favorite, do you guys think somebody could go on your page and think that they know you?
honestly, for me, I feel like that can happen. Because if I tweet something, I'm usually tweeting something that I'm thinking. And like I said, I've interacted with people to where I've said something that I actually meant to say, and somebody will text me or somebody will DM me and ask me a question. What did you mean? Or I'll have a dialogue on my TL or my mentions. What did you mean by this? Da, 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 da. I remember I tweeted something about being single and unavailable until I see a ring, talking about marriage and stuff. And I had about 5 guys be like, so what are you saying? And I really had to like sit on my TL and in my DMs and be like, this is what I mean by that, you know, and da da da. So I mean, I'm cool with that.
So do you feel like you always have to explain yourself though?
I don't feel like I always had to explain myself, but I'm also not opposed to like clarifying what I'm, you know, what I mean by something.
I agree with you, Lulu. I'm the same way. I think I don't really tweet either. I just retweet. I like I really am, or I'll quote sometimes. But same with what Alex said. I just sometimes retweet stuff because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily morally right, and I know that, but I'm just like,
wild stuff.
It is very wild, you know. But I just think it's funny. It's something to laugh at. It's not anything to explain the person I am, because I am a very wholesome, morally person. You know, I'm not.
And
that
that's.
bad.
I think that I don't think you can actually judge someone just off of their Twitter. I think that if someone were to, without meeting me, if they just wanted to get an idea of who I was as a person based off social media, they would have to have me on every social media app, because I know for a fact on Twitter, that's a different side of me. I mean, that's still me. I still say everything. Facebook, Instagrams, you know, like, oh, pretty girls posing for pictures, blah, blah, blah. Twitter is like, LOL, people think I'm funny, maybe, I don't know. Snapchat, oh, this girl's really weird. Like, those are just all my personalities in different apps. Yeah. But that's because each app is a different social sphere and you post different stuff.
I definitely agree with that. Okay, so final question. Do you guys think it's helped us or hurt us more?
I'm neutral.
Still? Okay.
Helped us.
I think it's helped us.
Neutral.
I think it's honestly, it just kind of hurt us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thank you for tuning into the Chit Chat. Catch up with us next week for our next video.